This week's skill is called the FAST skill, and it's part of the Interpersonal Effectiveness module. So this is about self-respect effectiveness, acting in a way that increases your self-respect after an interaction. So about what you think about yourself and also, how other people respect you. So we're going to look at how you go about that. People lose self-respect if they cry a lot during an interaction. They're breaking down, they're really emotional, or they might give in constantly, act really passive, rather than sticking up for themselves or what they want or what they need. They just say things like, "Oh, I'm not bothered really, and it doesn't matter, and I don't mind," and they're never really getting their own needs met. Or people who really push to get their own needs met in an angry way and threatening and mean in their approach and always get what they want, but at the end of the day they lose their self-respect, and also their relationships suffer because nobody wants to hang out with someone who continuously gets what they want in an aggressive way. So it has quite a negative impact. So it's about not just about getting what you want, but it's about getting what you want and also being able to lie in bed at night thinking, yeah, I dealt with that in a really respectful way. I'm quite comfortable in that interaction, rather than lying there thinking, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, I wish I hadn't said that, oh, that was awkward, I wonder what they're thinking about that. We're trying to get rid of those instances, and we're going to do that by acting in a more self-respectful way. So the FAST skill stands for being fair, no apologies, sticking to your values and being truthful. So the first one, being fair, is about being fair to yourself and to that other person. Because like I said, it's hard to like yourself if you're continuously taking advantage of other people. So you can get what you want, but you can lose your self-respect and you can have that awful feeling in your stomach that you think, oh, I really shouldn't have done that. And that's what we're trying to get rid of. But it's also hard to like yourself if you give in to people all the time and you never put your own needs first, because it will leave you feeling worthless and low. And if you don't value your own wants and needs, how do you expect other people to value your own wants and needs? If you don't even have that self-respect for yourself, it's hard for then other people to do that. So we have to validate our own needs as well, because they are important. I know people say, oh, I don't do this because I don't want to be selfish. It's not about being selfish. It's about, having your own wants and needs, because we all have them, whether we verbalise them or not. And meeting those needs. So being fair. So do you feel like your needs aren't important? Because some people do. They do everything for everybody else and they do nothing for themselves, which again leaves you feeling worthless. It makes you feel rubbish. Do you talk yourself out of wanting something? I don't deserve it. I shouldn't have to have that. I don't need it. Or do you do that because you're frightened of other people's response? If you do ask for what you want, are you frightened that there'll be a backlash to that? Some people always put other people first, like I say, but this really does have an impact on your self-respect, and it makes you feel devalued in a way, and that's people doing that to themselves, without anybody else kind of coming in on that one. So yeah, be fair to others and to yourself. This one, no apologies. I've attached a link in the email about a little YouTube video of someone who apologises, too much, goes overboard. But it just gives you an example of what that might feel like to listen to that. So don't apologise for being alive. Don't apologise for making a request. You're entitled to make a request. Everybody is. Don't apologise for having an opinion. It might not be the same as somebody else's, but that's because it's your opinion, so don't apologise for that. Don't apologise for disagreeing, because why? Why do you have to do that? We're not all put on this planet to think exactly the same and do exactly the same things. We all have our own kind of mindset. So don't apologise for that. You know, the beauty of the world is that we are all different, and we are all coming at things from a different place and a different angle, and that's what makes everything, you know, richer and more interesting. Apologies imply that you're wrong, and they will make you feel like you're not good at anything, because if you're constantly apologising, then they leave you with that like, ugh. So when do you need to apologise? Because you know, there are times when you do mess up and you do have to say, oh, sorry about that. So appropriate apologies enhance relationships. You know, they can make it better. If you've done something wrong, you've said something wrong, holding your hands up and saying, do you know what, when I did that, it was really out of order and I'm really sorry for that. That can enhance the relationship. Excessively apologising can hurt relationships. It gets in the way, and it's actually really annoying. If someone's constantly apologising, it's just irritating, which isn't people's intention when they say it. They don't kind of think, right, I'm going to really annoy people today. That's not what they start with, but it can kind of get that way if you overuse it. So have a real think about, you know, why am I saying this? Why am I saying sorry? And is it valid to that situation? Do I need to apologise right now? So yeah, and watch that YouTube clip, because that's a really good example in there. So the third element of the FAST skill is stick to your values. Stick to your moral code, what you believe in. Don't be a sellout to your own values just to get someone to like you. You know, sometimes people change with the wind, whoever they're with, and they kind of drop all their values because they just want that person to like them. They just want to belong, or but they don't stand for anything. They don't, you know, and actually, if you don't stick to your own values, that again can leave you with that horrible feeling inside that you're not really living true to yourself and true to what you believe in. So sometimes people change their views on, you know, quite big things like religion or wearing certain clothes just to fit in and just to be liked by people, or saying that you think the same as someone else when actually you really don't. You know, you don't have to come hard down on someone who disagrees with someone on something, but just going along with what people say will really make you feel a bit ugh. So have you ever had to challenge your values? What happens when you ditch your values and you just go along with the whatever situation you're in? What might the consequences have been of giving up your values for someone? There'll definitely be relationships or an interaction for sure that you've had where you have sold yourself out a little bit, and then you've gone away and you've thought, why did I say that, or why didn't I say that? Because it wasn't what you believed in at all. But those can kind of replay in your mind when you go home and you're like, oh, I should have said something then, or I should have done something. So be truthful. Don't lie. Don't act helpless when you're not, or exaggerate the facts to get what you want or for someone to like you, because you're moving into the realms of manipulation there. And dishonesty erodes your moral code and your values. And there'll be times when you feel helpless for sure, but it doesn't mean that you can't do something. It just means that you don't know how to do that at that time. So being helpless is the opposite of being capable, and what we want to feel like is that we are more capable and we're more skillful, because that increases our self-confidence. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. Is do not ever lie, because you know there are times when being honest could actually damage a relationship. So, for example, you know, you might tell a little white lie. If someone's invited you around for dinner, my examples are always around food. Someone invited you around for dinner, and it wouldn't be something that you would normally eat, and it wouldn't be something that you might eat again because you didn't particularly like it. But and they say, how was it? Did you enjoy it? And a little white lie might be, oh, it was lovely, thank you. Yeah, thank you. When actually, you didn't feel like that. But if you were to tell the truth, no, it was really dry, it was salty, it was like chewing on a flip-flop. Actually, if you're that honest, that could actually be really damaging in that relationship. And they will never invite you around for tea again because you've hurt their feelings. So it might be a time when you do pull out a white lie. But the thing is, if you're going to lie, is to do it mindfully rather than habitually. So don't do it all the time, because then again you're kind of damaging your moral code, and people won't know who you are unless you're kind of genuine and truthful. But there are times when, like I say, it's not always wise to be that honest. Mastery is about being capable or feeling capable, so doing things that are difficult or challenging, and helplessness is the enemy of mastery. So getting up after you've fallen down, and the next time you fall down, getting up again, doing something over and over until you master it and you feel a bit more skillful in that. Because we're not going to do things straight off. You don't develop skills by doing something once and then being an expert in that. That's just not how it works. You have to practice, and this comes into play with all of the skills and most of life, really. But Walt Disney got fired from a newspaper because he wasn't creative, but that didn't stop him. He didn't think, right, I'm just going to give up now. He fell down, took it on board, got back up again, and then became quite skillful in what he did. So I was going to chuck loads of Rocky Balboa quotes in here, but I did stop myself a little bit. But everything that we're talking about in these skills is about practicing and trying to become more skillful. I'm waffling now, so I'll stop. Thanks.